My name's Elisa. I am a senior. I am 17 years old and I go to the John D. O'Brien School of Math and Science, around a mile from 826 Boston. The writer's room is a space for students to study. There are tutors. Writers and staff will go to different classrooms and they'll help out students. Some people come here for their college applications. I first started coming to the writer's room in the 7th grade when I had to work on an essay. After school, I've been involved in slam poetry, creative writing for a period of time, and Rubik's for the longest, for 6 years. Rubik's is sort of like an anthology that students work on with 826. This is the school issue. The school issue came after. I think this is when I officially joined Rubik's. This was my first piece. I made it in the 7th grade, which is a really hard thing to look at. It's based on a race we wrote in my global studies class as a way to address gentrification in Boston. If you go towards South Bay Center, you'll find that there's like this brand new shopping district where you can find a bunch of luxury brands. And then if you walk for about like 7 minutes, you'll pass by an alleyway that is full of tents. There's a bunch of houseless people who are living there. Here's a portion of my piece, my favorite portion. Tenderized with battens, seasoned with a glass-grade meth, drops of morphine, smoked in crack pipes, marinated in tear gas, and all that resides in the CIA's pantry, locally sourced from Southampton Street. Enjoy your meal in the flesh of the long-standing residents that sustained you. Consume what we were, watch in Technicolor television as the meat migrates and the hunt continues once more. I found it incredibly ironic how people were saying that, oh, well, we're investing in the city, we're investing in the future, but it's not necessarily the future of the common people. We're at a point where you don't really need to say Black people when you mean poor. Sometimes they'll say like low income, low access, underserved communities, and we know what we're talking about because they can't say Black. They can't go and say, well, the communities that have the most people of color usually tend to be poor, because that directly addresses the issue at hand, that there is systemic racism at play. I don't want for things that I guess, feel, the way that I perceive things, the way that a lot of people perceive things to just kind of go unnoticed. I feel like that's the issue with publication in general. It's hard for you to get published if you are someone who is low income. It's hard for you to make a living off of being a writer unless you have like an affluent background. And I feel like with having different programs of having like kids can work on something in class, you can express how you're feeling. This is important. We have thoughts, we have feelings, we have opinions. It's just that it's hard for us to get published. The 826 Boston writers' rooms have really been pretty quintessential, I'd say, to me growing as a writer and growing as a person. I feel like a lot of people who've come into this space have come out a better person overall. We're all here, we're writing, we're sharing ideas, and there's not a way for you to talk about such like heavy subjects or talk about our lives without, I guess, sparking some sort of conversation around that. Like, what are our fears? What do we worry about in the future? Well, what do we care about? We as a generation, what do we value? What's something that scares us? What's something that we're proud of? I'm only one person, I can only live one lifetime, but hearing other people gives me a sample of theirs. That's something that you can only really get when you're talking about the core of being human, being alive. I think that's beautiful.